Long before he was a household name, a struggling actor named Jim Carrey drove up to Mulholland Drive and wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered. He kept it in his wallet for years. Years later, an unknown fighter named Conor McGregor was driving a beat-up car he literally had to push to start. Yet he predicted to anyone who would listen that he would soon drive a custom Bentley and become the undisputed champion of the UFC. Stories like these are often hijacked to sell the pop culture version of the law of attraction. This is the incredibly appealing idea that you can sit on your couch, think positive thoughts, and the universe will passively deliver a luxury car to your driveway. To any rational observer, that passive version of manifesting sounds like pure delusion or movie magic. If we treat it like a cosmic wishing well, we completely miss the actual mechanism at play. What if the law of attraction has nothing to do with a mystical universe granting your wishes, and everything to do with a highly specific neurological process? When you look closely at hypersuccessful people, they aren't using manifestation to avoid hard work. They are using it as an aggressive, active psychological tool. It is a survival mechanism designed to get them through extreme hardship and manually overwrite their default internal programming. Visualizing an impossible goal is exactly how world-class performers draw up the architectural blueprint for their own minds. It is the very first step in intentionally forging an entirely new, unstoppable identity. The foundation of this process relies on a biological loophole. The human brain cannot easily distinguish between an event that happens in real life and one that is intensely and repeatedly visualized. Consider David Goggins at his lowest point. He weighed nearly 300 pounds, was terrified of the water, and couldn't even run a quarter mile without stopping. Goggins bypassed vague wishes for fitness and committed to a specific mental rehearsal. He pictured himself as the 23rd man standing in that graduating class, wearing his pristine white dress uniform. He put himself in that exact scenario over and over again. The vision only works if it is obsessively detailed. Kobe Bryant's childhood dreams of the Lakers extended into sensory detail. He visualized the metallic smell of the arena, the physical texture of the uniform on his shoulders, and the physical sensation of scoring over 100 points before he let himself fall asleep. The clearer and more precise the picture is in your mind, the more rapidly your subconscious accepts it. It stops treating the vision as a fantasy and starts processing it as a factual memory that simply needs to be executed. This execution requires absolute repetition. The most effective practitioners write and speak their goals obsessively, always framing them in the present tense using the words "I am," forcing the brain to accept the statement as a current reality rather than a future hope. This practice is often mistaken for simple positive thinking. It is actually the intentional installation of new neurological circuits. By acting exactly like the person you want to become, your brain observes your actions and changes the way it relates to you. This constant positive repetition manually overrides the brain's default settings of fear and self-doubt. When your brain sees you consistently cheering for yourself, it stops beating you up and begins to build a baseline of bulletproof self-esteem. You are quite literally installing new neurological hardware. You are manufacturing a powerful internal ally that will push you forward when external circumstances get overwhelmingly difficult. The spiritual myth of manifestation falls apart when confronted with reality. The mental vision only programs the coordinates into the GPS. The actual engine that gets you there is a maniacal, relentless physical grind. Kobe Bryant might have laid in bed imagining scoring 120 points, but he woke up the next morning and physically shot 1,000 basketballs every single day. Conor McGregor absolutely felt like a wealthy champion while driving his broken-down car. But the moment he finished a grueling training session, he sat down and meticulously took analytical notes on every scenario to ensure he improved the next day. True manifestation exists at a very specific intersection. It is the exact point where a completely delusional, limitless mental vision collides with a deeply grounded, undeniable work ethic. The philosopher and business thinker Jim Rohn identified a specific mechanism that reorders how this entire process works. Rohn proposed a rule that flips the standard law of attraction upside down. You do not attract what you want in life. You only attract what you are. Visualizing massive external rewards, like Jim Carrey's check or a luxury car, is a psychological Trojan horse. The true purpose of an impossibly high goal is to force you to stretch your capabilities, endure failure, and build an alter ego capable of surviving the climb. The greatest value of this entire endeavor is never the physical item you eventually get to hold in your hand. The real prize is the completely new, upgraded version of yourself you had to become to achieve it. The universe is not going to magically drop a reward into your lap simply because you sat in a quiet room and thought about it. Visualizing the absolute peak of your potential is simply the most effective way to turn yourself into the exact type of person who can walk out the front door and take it. So take Rohn's advice. Don't wish the path was easier, wish you were better. Decide exactly who you are going to be, map out the required grind, and commit without a single compromise. Manifestation is not magic. It is the declaration of your identity, doing the work to build it, and writing life straight to perfect laughter.